1031.
Minasan konnichiwa and welcome back to the channel. For the upcoming release of Chapter 5, I have made this chart that you at home can play along with when Chapter 5 comes out so freaking soon. Now, I know what you're thinking, and it is very sexy, but also there are some people who might doubt the things in this bingo chart will happen. But don't cheeks worry. I, Birdly Fan 1031, have studied the game immensely, so you can stay secured that all of these are extremely and obviously safe bets for events that will occur in Chapter 5. So drink a nice glass of orange juice as I list off the events on this here bingo card. Susie opening up about her secret crush on Birdly. Since we all know this chapter is going to be very ship heavy, it is incredibly likely that Susie will open up to Noelle about her secret crush on Birdly when they are alone together, while Birdly is fending off some of Gaster's army. Since both Noelle and Susie obviously have a crush on Birdly, I can see this moment of vulnerability bringing Susie and Noelle closer together, and furthering the development of them as characters, their budding romance, and Birdelzi as a ship. Birdly will have a brain blast. Birdly has it tough in this chapter, facing both W.D. Gaster and the Roaring at the same time. Whew, what a handful. He will most likely have to have at least one medium-sized brain blast. How this will affect the narrative, only time will tell. But yes, I can assure you, it will be epic. Playable Birdly. We, being the whole Deltarune and SpongeBob fandom, were teased playable Birdly as far back as Chapter 2, with him joining us for a single screen. Man, Toby, that was such a tease. My balls are so blue, you can walk over them and get a Chaos Emerald. So it makes sense this common fan desire and borderline human need will come to pass in this very Chapter 5. Asgore dies. Asgore dies. Birdly fan service. Okay, for reality, and I will just say what we are all obviously thinking. Okay, you do not design a character as sexy as Birdly Well-Endowed Masterlord without planning at least a little bit of fan service in advance. I mean, come on man, do you see how thick his thighs are? I mean, goodness with a side of gracious. No wonder Noelle is so thirsty over this PBM. He has a posterior that refuses to stop working in sickness and in health. Weird Route Birdly's boss theme is Megalovania. We have had so many absolute hype and aura moments, like number 3 on my video, The Top 10 Birdly Moments by Birdly Fan 1031. So it would make logical and logistical sense this would accumulate in the Weird Route Birdly battle, wherein we finally get to hear the true version of Megalovania that Deltarune Birdly wrote when he was 6. Birdly's parents not being revealed. Birdelzi. We are most definitely gonna see some cute Birdelzi moments, for sure. Well, given Birdly's fate of having to keep Noelle safe from Gaster, it's obvious that he will have to keep some distance, but still, expect a lot of cute moments that the fandom will go bonkers for. Birdly unlocks a new form. It is likely that Birdly will attain a new power that combines both his paramount boss monster strength and his ultra awakened pansexuality, enhanced with his to face off all the enemies that appear in this chapter. Fair warning, it might be a bit broken, so disable it in the options menu if you still want the game to have any challenge. Birdly equips the Thorn Ring. In the Weird Route, Birdly might put on the Thorn Ring. Then, there are two possibilities. 1. He becomes the Ice Emperor with the ability to control ice and manifest a miniature of Copenhagen. Or 2. You have 10 seconds to look away. Birdly vocal theme. Birdly will get a vocal theme like the one in the credits of Chapter 1, and much like his aforementioned Brain Blast, this vocal theme too will be epic sauce. Plus 2. Gaster gets his ass beat. Obvious to everyone, including those who can't see or hear or think, Gaster is gonna get his ass beat so hard that he will be shattered across time, space, and distance. Why the fuck is the Y perp SpongeBob cameo? There is reasonable reason to suspect that SpongeBob Hero SquarePants himself will indeed make a special cameo appearance in Chapter 5 during the goldfish catching minigame. If you get over 2,401 points on a 70% semi-pacifist genocide route. Sly BF 1031 reference. Spobbertson is also the one most likely to be the one to drop the Sly Birdly Fan 1031 reference. We know Toby pays attention to the fandom, so it is most likely that there is going to be a very subtle and sly reference to this channel and to me, myself. When you take the time to think about it, it obviously just makes logical sense given the context. A third true Birdly route. There will obviously be a third true Birdly route in addition to the pacifist and genocide routes. This specific route will be unlocked by a brand spanking new minigame mentioned later in this bingo chart. This will be the route where Birdly will fulfill the prophecy and take Gaster on a one-way, all-expenses-paid trip to Pound Town. Big laundry. I don't know why this is here. Birdly revealing he knows it was never a dream. It is extremely obvious from his phone dialogue in Chapter 4 that Birdly obviously knows that the cyber world, dark world, was never a dream. We know Birdly toys with us as well as aware of not only the soul, but our presence as the player and dedicated fan of his. So it would make obvious and self-evident sense eventually he'd come out and reveal that he knew Chapter 2's cyberworld was never a dream, and that Susie was totally planning on kissing him back there before chickening out. But hey, we all know this. Birdly opening the shelter. When we lose the passcode to the shelter, it is likely, once we add Birdly to our team, that he just opens the shelter himself, unveiling his hidden Paramount boss monster strength. This will shock Susie, but I think Chris and Noelle must have already known to a certain extent. Game becomes a 3D platformer. The game will switch to being a 3D platformer. Holy moly, this will be a wild ride. Get your joysticks calibrated for this one, people. Chris does the Macarena. Chris will do the Macarena. This will be a satisfying conclusion to their arc, as someone who has had difficulty expressing themselves and always having to deal with the grasp of feeling controlled and with the existential dread of losing their friend and potential lover. I think it will completely pwn Gaster when Chris whips out the Macarena. It's also likely this is the scene where Birdly and Chris will share their first kiss, or Chris as Chris likes to call it. This Macarena will be epic, and it better be the real version, not that shit-ass version they played in gym class. It's a Macarena, not a Macarena. Fucking hell. Kissing Birdly minigame. We all know that we're gonna bear witness to our Superlord Birdly's beak being put through the kisser in Chapter 5. Depending on which of the three of your friends you choose to take to the festival, there will be 3 different variations of the new Chapter 5 exclusive Affectionately and Tenderly Kissing Birdly minigame. The strategies needed to be taken in order of difficulty and complexity are as follows. Noelle is a direct attack kisser, so patterns for her will be predictable, tying into how Noelle and Birdly have been practice kissing since they were in preschool. Chris's kissing patterns are a bit more random, and as a kisser, their style is more all-range compared to Noelle's up-close and personal approach, mirroring Chris's ability to easily adapt to new situations. And finally, Susie is what could be considered the hard mode of this minigame. Kissing patterns are the most random, and each kiss has a 50% chance of inflicting awkwardness, showing how Susie is new to expressing herself in a romantic relationship. Depending on how well you do in this minigame, it will affect the attack damage your partner will inflict in the Gaster fight. Speedrunners are going to have a hell of a time with this mode, as it requires both mental and emotional connection. Edu appears. Edu, Birdly's friendly cousin from the south, will visit, and might become another party member and another friend to the group. Birdly dies. Birdly will quote-unquote die in this chapter, but anyone with a media literacy level above 1 knows that this is clearly a trick done to circumvent the evil and misogynistic plans of the evil and misogynistic W.D. Gaster. Funny Gaster fails. W.D. Gaster. Man, Gotta be my favorite villain in all of video games. Honestly, he's just so hilarious. Probably the funniest character Toby Fox has ever written. I always get a good chuckle when this guy is on screen. In addition to the absolute crash out he's gonna have when he sees Berdelzi become canon, we're definitely gonna see him mess up in some very goofy and silly ways, alongside his loyal minions Jockington and Caddy. Okay, well, that wraps up this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. I also have a Patreon open now. I don't really know what to offer, so right now it's basically a donation hole. But please consider stuffing my hole. See you next time. Sayonara.